Rod Stewart.
Hello, sir.
Rod Stewart.
I'll take that. How are you, Liam? Nice to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you?
Super great, man. Thank you so much. This will be the first time that we've ever talked, so I'm really, really excited about it.
All right.
I kept it under wraps. I didn't tell anybody. We do a morning show here in Houston, and I didn't tell anybody on my team that I was talking to until this morning. And they know what a geek I am, what a super fan I am. So I just kind of threw it out there. I'm like, yeah, I'm talking to Liam later today. We're going to record something.
They wouldn't know who I am. They'd be like, who the fucking hell's he?
Well, the first thing out of my guy's face, he's like, oh, my God, get him to say c***. And I said, dude, it doesn't work that way. I said, I'll let him know that we're recording and he can speak as freely as he like, but it just doesn't work that way. So I am telling you we're recording and you can be as comfortable as you'd like with your language, my good friend.
Yeah, I treat that word very, I don't use it very lightly, man.
Well,
there's a lot of people that throw it around like it's some kind of like party trick and that, but no, when I say it, I mean it, man.
So it's only like for special occasions when it's really needed for the emphasis.
For sure.
You got a third album coming out next month, Come On You Know, and the lead track is with Dave Grohl. Brilliant song, dude.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We're all big Foo Fighter fans like everybody. He's one of the biggest rock stars on the planet now.
He is, man. And the band as well. They're massive, aren't they? Like, they're not just big in America. I looked the other day, they're big all over, man. So respect to them, man.
I hate talking about the pandemic. I heard that's the same for you. But was this a song that you guys had to bounce tracks back and forth, or were you ever in the studio together with Dave?
No, never in the studio. No. So here's what happened. So we finished the album around about November last year, and we started it sort of maybe in the second lockdown because I weren't even going to do a record. We finished the tour, and then we sort of got away with the tour, and then it all went weird. So I sort of just sat in the garden and drank and just thought, all right, the end of the world. And then sort of realised, sort of gone, you know what, it's actually not. Then started messing about with some tunes. And then I think it was all, and then the restrictions sort of were chilled and that, and then we could get into the studio, and we got in the studio, banged some tunes down, and then finished it in November. And then I was leaving the studio with the album finished, going to the pub, and then I get a phone call saying, look, can you go back in the studio? Greg Kirsten and Dave Grohl have wrote you this tune. So I said, all right. So I've gone back in, listened to the song, put down the vocals, sent it back to them, and then they sent it back, and then this is what we ended up with. So it was kind of like that, really. So
Dave had the construction of the song, and you did the lyrics and the vocals on it.
Yeah, no, they did the lyrics as well. I just done the vocals and just changed a few bits, but nothing too heavy. You know what I mean?
When you hear it, though, it sounds like it was perfect for you. So when Dave gets this idea, I mean, he's got this when he's creating this, he's got you in mind, right, from the start.
Yeah, I think it was him and Greg Kirsten as well. So it was the three of us sort of they sort of done the music and then sent it over. But I mean, listen, we're from the same thing, aren't we? You know what I mean? I think the Foo Fighters are very similar to Oasis. You know what I mean? It's it's proper. It's it's Route 1 rock and roll. You know what I mean? There's no frills in that. It's just pretty much good melodies, and great great guitars and great singing. You know what I mean? So that's the formula. You know what I mean? So it's pretty straightforward, really.
When you first started talking about this album, you may have had enough for 2 albums. Was there ever a time when you were going to put out 2 separate albums, and then you wound up condensing everything for one?
No, because obviously when the pandemic come, I thought to myself, you know what, everyone was having a moment and sort of thinking how beautiful the world is and what we've done to it and blah, 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 and it's just the end. And, everyone was going through these mad things and all that. And I thought, if we do get a chance to do a record, maybe everyone will be coming back with these rocking records and, telling how much they hate the government and how much da-da-da and da-da-da and all this nonsense. And I just thought maybe we should come at it at a different angle and maybe write, do an album full of love songs, just a bit more chilled, a bit like Simon Garfunkel kind of thing. So there was a couple of songs like that on the go. And then it sort of went back to the mad stuff, the rock and rolly stuff, and then it sort of went back to the love kind of chill stuff. And then we ended up with Come On You Know. So there's still a few, I reckon there's half a record left of more chilled record, you know what I mean?
Liam Gallagher is our guest on the phone. His third solo album will be out on May 27th. Come On, You Know. Lead track with Dave Grohl. That's not your only guest on this album. I think a lot of people will know Vampire Weekend. So Ezra from Vampire Weekend is also on a track. And how did you get involved with him?
Yeah, well, so the guy that I write the songs with, Andrew Wyatt, he said, listen, he goes, I've got this tune that the guy out of Vampire Weekends wrote, which is called Moscow Rules. Now, this is way before all this stuff that's happening. So I was going, oh, that sounds a bit strange and a bit odd. Let's have a listen. So we played it, and this was in Rack Studio, and I thought, it's pretty out there, man. So we cracked on with it, and then a couple of months later, Ezra popped up, and I'd never met him before. A nice lad, and then we carried on with that song. So that's how that happened. But it's a great tune. It's nothing to do with Moscow. It's cool and rules and stuff, and I'm sure there's nice bits about it. But it's not pro Moscow. You know what I mean?
The world wasn't quite as crazy, if you could believe it, when you wrote that than it is now.
Yeah, the timing's a bit shitty and that, but when people hear it, they'll sort of realise it is what it is, and it's nothing to do with that. But if people really kick up a storm about it and they don't want it, you know what I mean? They just don't fucking listen to it. You know what I mean? It's simple as that. It's only guitar music. It's only music. And if it really upsets people, then I guess we can bin it off. It's not a problem.
So you mentioned Andrew Watt. This guy.
Yeah.
What is it about this guy? Now, I met him when he was here as a solo artist. He was on one of our festivals. He's got the long hair. He's jamming the guitar. He's fucking rocking out. It's awesome, right? Yeah. So I know that he's special on stage. But then he becomes the golden child of producing right now, and you've got him as a co-producer on this album.
And writer, yeah, he writes the songs as well. That's a good question. I lie in bed many a night, sweating, going, what is it about this guy? And I can't put my finger on it, which is a good thing. But no, he's very talented, man, and his melody's amazing, and he's actually he's an all right guy as well. He's a lovely guy, which is the most important thing.
But how many people can go from Ozzy to Taylor Swift to Justin Bieber to you to Eddie Vedder? It seems like there's nothing that he is not comfortable working on.
Yeah, well, it's just music, isn't it? You know what I mean? He's like, he's one of them special people that just loves music and he's good at it. There's only two forms of music, good and bad, man. It's as simple as that. That
I understand. But did you seek him out?
Well, no, we were working with Greg Kirsten, and then Greg called him and got him in. So he kind of come through Greg, you know what I mean? And then the three of us kind of just hit it off, and so it's just been the same ever since.
Liam Gallagher, our guest on the phone, new album out on May 27th. So much is available now on YouTube, and we get to see all of this stuff. And, just hearing your vocals on the track with Dave Grohl, Everything's Electric. Your voice, that's your instrument. And I don't know how much you take care of it, but your voice has almost gotten more rich as you've aged. And you always sang in a comfortable register. And the stuff that you're singing right now, dude, it's awesome. There is no drop off at all with your vocals. Do you feel that way? Or is it tough to sing as much as you did when you were a younger man?
No, I mean, I've always been good in the studio. You just got to look after yourself, haven't you, and get a decent night's kip and watch what you're drinking and smoking in the day and that. But in the studio, I've always been good, man. I've always been pretty decent, you know what I mean? Going out live now is a different thing because you've got all the amps and the band behind you and that, so you've got to box clever, you know what I mean? But I think I'm doing all right considering I'm nearly 50 and I'm still out partying sometimes and that. But, I'm not a choir boy, that's for sure, but I like to just spit it out. And I like to be up there with the guitars, you know what I mean?
Speaking of your health, we did talk about you late last year. I mean, it's very rock and roll. Dude, you fell out of a helicopter.
Yeah.
Is there any, I mean, are you okay? I mean, is everything fine since that accident? And how bad was it?
Yeah, no, I think I'm a lot more prettier now, man. I think it was a lot more better looking. I think it was an act of God.
Dude, I'm thinking there's seats, there's a door closed.
I've come back better looking. Well, no, but what happened. So I was at the Isle of Wight Festival, and we were like last on or something, and the fog come down, and we were meant to get off, and we couldn't fly and stuff like that. So we had to wait about 3 hours so we could fly to let the fog go and that. So obviously within them 3 hours, a lot of drinking can get done. So I've hit the brandy, and anyway, we finally get to fly. I've got a little bit carried away, and I forgot I was in the helicopter. I obviously wasn't moving when I fell out of it. It had landed, otherwise I'd be dead. But I forgot I was in a helicopter and thought I was just in a car. So I opened the helicopter door thinking that I'm right near the ground, and I obviously wasn't. And I've missed the steps and fell flat on my face.
Oh, and you tweeted out a picture immediately. I mean, sharing everything with the world.
Yeah, it was all right, man. It wasn't that bad. I mean, I was a little bit concussed and that, so I had to go to the doctors that night, 3 o'clock in the morning, get me nose stitched up. But, you know, it wasn't that bad. I just thought people might like it, you know what I mean? Whether, you know, there's a lot of haters out there, and they might have thought, you know, I like to share stuff with the haters as well.
Oh, yeah, you don't seem to have a problem with them online. You're an absolute must follow on Twitter.
Without them, where would we be? You know what I mean? So, no, I like them. So, you know, I just shared it with them. So I thought I'd share them up, letting them know that they nearly got me.
Our guest is Liam Gallagher. New album out May 27th. As doing what I do for a living, and as every broadcaster in the world, there's no way to tiptoe into it. There's no cool or fancy way to get in or out of it. So it's just flat out, let's rip the Band-Aid off. You've been very, very vocal in the past about an Oasis reunion. You seem to be the one that talks about it a little bit more often. Are we anywhere closer to a reunion?
The thing is, I get asked about it a lot, and I like to just be straight with people. You know what I mean? We should never have split up. Like I said at the beginning, we were big in England. We weren't the biggest band in the world. People said we were, but we weren't big in America. We weren't big in Yugoslavia. We weren't big in Italy. We weren't big in Japan. Foo Fighters are bigger than us worldwide. Coldplay are bigger than us, so we should never have split up. We had a lot more albums to do, and we had a lot more countries to conquer. So that's my deal. But, you know, there you go. It is what it is. I'm doing this now, and he's doing that. But yeah, I still wish we were still together, for sure.
I'll say this, and you know, not to put down or bring up other bands, but you know, the old term that absence makes the heart grow fonder, whatever the hell that is. My Chemical Romance went away for about 10 years. They were never even close, okay? They were never even close to the enormity of Oasis. They got back together after 10 years. They have 5 nights in L.A. at the Forum, okay? Now, I don't know how that happens. You've been gone 10 years. That's it. And you got 5 nights booked at the Forum in Los Angeles. You guys would have to book a month.
Yeah, I just think it's different generations, sort of. People that were there at the beginning, they grow up, they have kids and that, and then their kids want to come and see it, and just, you know, I mean, listen, we're lucky that we even get to this stage, you know what I mean? So that's helped me with what I'm doing now, and Noel, obviously, but, you know, it's one of them, you know what I mean? What with the stuff that we did in the 90s and all that will last forever, you know what I mean? So we're lucky, but it is what it is, man.
I know the term, and I loved it when I watched the documentary where it was biblical. Dude, with the amount of time that you've been away, you would eclipse all the bands that you mentioned. It would be unbelievable. And I think you know that, and I think we all kind of know that. And we just...
Without a doubt.
And we love you so much, and that's kind of why. But are you going to be out touring solo? You're going to be touring this record all summer long?
Yeah, so I've got a gig next week for the Teenage Cancer thing in the Royal Albert Hall with the Who and stuff. So we've got that, and then we've got a few little more things going on. Then we do the Nebworth, and we do got a few nights at Nebworth in June. And we've got a few little tour, like a few gigs with the Foo Fighters, some abroad and that, and then I guess we go to Japan and that. But yeah, I'll be touring wherever they'll have us. I'll play anywhere, me. I'm mad for it.
Are you looking at a chunk of time to do shows here in the States?
I think there's talk of getting over there at some point, but yeah, I would definitely be going over the States. Why not?
Okay, well, we need you here, bro. Liam Gallagher, come on, you know, May 27th. Dude, thank you so much. I said that I would really be respectful of your time today, and I've kept you the entire 15 minutes. You were brilliant today. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, mate. Look after yourself, and I'll see you again.
Thanks, bro. Take care.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.